And it's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. GM on this beautiful day. Good morning to Web3 with Barocco, Sep, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30, and it's all on Rock Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM, Rock Radio.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to Rock Radio, everyone. Today is Friday. Yo, you know how it goes down on Friday. Yo, what up? Good morning, GMG.
I like how Ovi didn't even move.
He
thought it was you. He literally thought it was you.
I swear to God, I don't know if he thought it was me or he just doesn't care anymore. It's one of the two. And
no reaction.
It's so funny. Dude, does he even hear us?
I hear you.
Thank you.
I just decided not to say anything.
You son of a bitch. Good morning, GM, ladies and gentlemen. Friday, March 24th, 2023. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful. The sun is actually shining in Montreal. It looks like we may have somewhat of a spring on the horizon. I got my co-host in the house, OSF, Meadow. How y'all doing?
GM, I'm good. I've got this new camera, but it still looks shit. So
No, it does. It looks better. It does better.
It looks better. It looks way better.
What's your lens, though?
I've got the good lens, but I can't.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to say, you look much better than yesterday. And
it really brings out the room. You've really done a great job with it.
It brings out the room, but it would really help if, like, as an artist, you had art on your walls.
No, that's perfect. I like the number of plugs there is in that room.
How many plugs are there? Hold on, let's calculate. Mando, I think can someone guess the exact number of plugs in the room? Please comment it on YouTube. Put it in the comments. How many plugs in OSF's rooms? I think it's 1, 2, 3.
That's only on that side of the wall, by the way. This side is where the plugs are at.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You've done a really good job.
So there's 5 on the left side, right? So Ovi's right. And there's 1, 2. There's got to be like 8 plugs, right?
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's worse.
Is that
Don't
worse?
do that. Yeah, don't do that. You're cutting your art. Don't do that. Don't change anything. Don't do anything different than what you were doing. It was great. You look great.
I had the wrong angle.
I like it. I like it with the angle. Like, really.
How's this? Whoa, shit.
He almost dropped I'm trying to do something right now. By the way, on Spaces, as usual, you know the drill, you know the vibes. We are out here on YouTube. I just tweeted out at the bottom right of the Twitter space is a link to our YouTube. I don't know why you changed your situation. Like, you should have your camera
His
like
mic, his setup was horrific. His old camera was terrible, right?
Oh, hold on, but we have the same camera. I have the
new camera. He's got a new camera. This is what I don't understand. He should look like Pio and Nick did when they did the show the other day, and he still looks like he.
This is like the whole thing for it. I've got like the new camera and everything.
I like it. I think it's great. Like, I'm a fan.
Like Nick and Pio look like they're
wrong.
something's wrong.
Yeah.
That's 10% body fat right there.
Yeah. I mean,
Full fat Coke as well. Look at that.
It's
that Coke Zero?
Hold on. How do I if I just remove us from the stream for a second? I'm kidding. I'm just playing.
Wow, I love that comment. That's the room of a divorced father. That is 100% the room of a divorced father.
The only possessions you got left are like a skateboard.
Oh my God, Jose. Yo, Jose Medoxo saying that is the room of a divorced father. What's up? Good morning. It's Friday. I have to tell you guys, I'm just going to be honest because we've been hosting this for 300 days straight. So I feel like I can be honest with the audience. I'm exhausted. I went to a wedding last night. I even still have the henna in my hand. I went to beautiful.
Oh, that's beautiful. What kind of the pattern is that?
Yes, this is generative art. So
That's a
basically,
Persian pattern right there.
yeah. So where's the henna?
Austrian.
So they put a henna hamsa. They put the thing. I don't know what it is. You would know Ovies, right? Like
Oh,
smells good. And then they put the thing on your hand. Then they
Indian, my friend.
Yeah. They're usually very these nice, like intricate, delicate patterns done by someone who maybe is an artist. So I don't know if like the person who did yours just didn't get the memo, or they're just taking the piss and like.
Person who
I think they got sick of it and they're like, you know what? Let's just trick this guy into thinking like this is what we do with henna and just splodge it away.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on. First of all, the person who put this on my hand was the grandmother of my friend.
Don't bring grandmothers into this.
Yeah,
right?
don't bring
that is one of the worst patterns I've ever seen.
Hey, how does your henna look? Let me ask Vanessa how her shit looks. Does your henna looks nice? Ovi's shitting on me right now on the show. She can't hear me. Okay. Anyways, so so I went to this crazy wedding last night. And the show is on video and audio, so it's tough.
This is the thing. People don't realize this because we obviously have a back end chat where we used to talk, and for a long time you were wasted for a lot of the Friday shows, right? I remember when we hosted Yuga Labs.
Well, because they were only when they were doing events, right? The Yuga Labs, I gotta say, we did host Gordon and Garga with me being completely drunk from the night.
But now you can't really get away with it, right?
Can't get away with it. I have to just be myself on the show, you know, and people will get to enjoy it. You know, I think someone said it's all over your face now, Farouk, and I actually looked at my face. Oh my God. Yeah. I went to a wedding. Beautiful wedding. Honestly, beautiful. It was I hadn't been to a wedding since our friend Ovi's 9th wedding. It was really good. It was beautiful. But anyways, today on the show, sorry guys, it's so funny to do this on video now because before I would get away with it on audio, like Mando was saying, and now I have to show up and have to have the light in my face, that I have here. It's so funny. Anyways, the henna meaning is proof of attendance. Exactly. I have the real proof of attendance. This has more utility than a daily dose. Okay. And it's a reminder that I went to beautiful, beautiful wedding. You know what's funny, guys? Yesterday I posted a picture. I guess I shouldn't. I posted a picture of the newlyweds. And I posted a picture of me and Vanessa, and I put wedding vibes, and people thought I was getting married.
It did look like you were getting married. It did look like you were getting married.
Does it look like me, bro? I mean, look. I mean, the guy doesn't even have a chunk of hair on his head. You know?
Yeah, but dude, it did look. I looked back and I was like, yo.
I don't think I'll be getting married in a chutzpah either, you know? And so yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know. And so people were just saying
I guess maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't discussed it yet.
Today on the show. Today. I'm gonna read the titles, Mando put, because I did the titles during the wedding. There was nothing.
I did the titles.
You did the titles. So DJ's market report, crypto, NFT, macro, as usual. We're 2 days after the biggest FOMC in history since 1929. And then other side meta captains. So there's captains. The second trip is just around the corner. Duquan was arrested. He wasn't on the run. He was just using a fake Costa Rican passport because he totally looks like he's from Costa Rica. And it's going to another country. So he was caught in Montenegro. So Duquan is arrested. And GG. The Creeps got a game coming out. Hell yeah. Shout out to Jokar. Can't buy Pandas, Casino, and PP Decks. And then chat with the Joker Club Spirit. Part 2. We're going to give it a second shot this morning on the show. But anyways, and as usual, you'll be able to claim your stubs. So you know what to do. Retweet the room. I know you want to get your stubs. I know there's only 100 per room. So I know you don't want to share the room, but you should still tell people, listen, the show's going on and you should give it an RT. So we'll give a code later when I find out what the code is. But perfect. I got the code and we'll be going on. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Daily Market Report. Brought to you by Rug Radio. Joseph, what's the word?
Hey Hey guys. So yesterday we had like a really strong start to equities. We then sold off towards the end of the day, and today we're kind of like a little bit in the red. There are some concerns now around Deutsche Bank and other European banks, and this whole negative sentiment on the banking sector is continuing to spread across the traditional market. So the main movement you've seen is actually not really in the big indices. It's been in bank stocks. A lot of bank stocks are down big. Deutsche Bank is down big. But you've also seen a huge rally in interest rates, like 2-year. Right now it's at 3.69%. I think it got all the way to like 3.5%. 10-year as well had a huge move. So like it's amazing because you had the FOMC, you heard what the Fed's plans were, but interest rates are really continuing to still price in a very different story to what the Fed has been saying. I guess the concern is like if Deutsche goes under or there's more stress in the banking system, the Fed will have to come back and be like, oh, you know what, we need to like stop doing this shit. We need to have an emergency cut, something like that. And by the way, if they come and do that, that won't be good. Like we've been saying, oh, if the Fed cuts or the Fed pivots, will be good for markets. If they come in and have to do an emergency cut, people will be like, oh shit, like things must be really, really bad. And I think it will be a big risk off sentiment. But, you know, crypto, we had a really, when we were on the show yesterday, we ripped to like 28.5 to 1850 on ETH. We're back down in line with the stocks, but it's still a massive outperformance of crypto versus equities. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin year to date right now is up 70%. And if you look at the S&P 500 year to date, it's up just 2%. If you look at the NASDAQ year to date, it's up just 15%. So it's been a massive outperformance of crypto. And the question is, will we keep seeing it? And I kind of think we will.
Do we keep seeing it? And I kind of think we will. I mean, look at that year-to-date chart. I like it.
Yeah, powerful.
Like it. It's pretty nice, dude. Look at this, like, beautiful inline curve.
Yeah.
So all right. So I guess that's that. Damn, I didn't realize I didn't realize ETH is like 1767. We'll take it. It's not bad.
Yeah, there was some. So I'm kind of ill today, by the way. But there was some stuff today that Binance they had to shut their trading for a couple of hours. They said there was an issue with the matching system that they use. As soon as they announced that, crypto kind of dumped. It then bounced back, but that was an interesting move. Look, this move in banks is really bad. And in Europe, this is what we said. You know, like this, the rest of Europe isn't like Switzerland. If Deutsche Bank goes down, and if a number of other big European banks go down, there isn't some bottomless pit where they can save them. Deutsche Bank is a huge bank, massive, one of probably the top 5 biggest banks in the world, at least in terms of systemic risk. And if that was to go down, that would require like a across Europe decision to kind of bail it out. And it looks like there's a number of other European banks which are also being tested. Some of them in the UK as well, so Barclays and HSBC. But then you have like SocGen, BNP, some of the other biggest European banks. So what we said a week ago, that this is going to spread to Europe and this is going to spread to the European banks. Europe is a far more fragmented banking industry than the US. It's less top heavy, which means in some ways it's more exposed to this than other places, and it's also far more fragmented from a policy standpoint in terms of being able to deal with things. So it looks like Europe is going to go through very similar to what it went through 10, 11 years ago, where a banking crisis then morphed into a sovereign crisis as the sovereigns have to bail out the banks. And I think that's going to happen over the next few weeks. So banks are not looking good. The other big thing that people are getting scared about in the US, I mean, is the commercial real estate market and the commercial loans, commercial real estate loans in particular, which is about a $6 trillion asset in the US. And this is a mixture between coming off the back of COVID, where the move to work from home or remote work has increased massively, and commercial real estate has never really bounced back that strongly. If you go to central areas of most US cities, most cities across the world, a lot of utilization rates of of commercial property is way down versus what it was like pre-COVID, and that may be a medium-term trend. Banks have provided the vast majority of the funding to this market for a long time, and just like you just saw now with the treasury market and the mortgage-backed security market, now there are big questions about the losses on bank balance sheets, particularly in the US, on commercial real estate. And that is a very, very big industry, one of the biggest industries in the world. It's about a $6 trillion industry just in the US alone. And there have been a lot of questions now about the different banks which are exposed to that. Not only that, but then you're also looking at the insurance market and the pensions as well. This is just, if you take a step back, this is just rates rising, and suddenly people are realizing that there are a lot of unrealized losses on the balance sheets of a lot of systemically important organizations to capitalism, insurance companies, pension companies, banks, like broader loan companies like student loans. There are massive losses to people which are unrealized from the rise in rates. Like we said before, most things, if they're valued at, they're kind of trading at something like 90, 80 cents on the dollar in the bond market. And whenever there are liquidity questions, like they need to suddenly raise cash, some of these things are exposed. So the next big thing that people are getting scared about is commercial real estate. I have no doubt in my mind this will then move on towards pensions. It will probably move on towards the private credit markets as well, which is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. There's just a lot of losses, which, quite frankly, perhaps haven't been accounted for correctly at these institutions. And suddenly, when you have questions about their ability to meet deposits, that can lead to issues. So this banking crisis, I think, is going to get a lot worse here. And I've been saying that.
We don't like to hear that.
It is going to get a lot worse. There's no doubt about it. It will happen in Europe, and it'll most probably lead to questions about the European system in general. Remember 10, 12 years ago, this happened, and various different countries tried to leave or threatened to leave the Europe at the euro at that time. Greece, Italy was quite loud, Spain, Portugal, but in particular Greece, because there will be questions about saving banks in these places and also then saving the sovereign debt of these countries. So that will happen, and maybe down the line you get debt mutualization in Europe. And then the US, it's going to be a question about the regional banking system. So most probably, I think First Republic will go pretty soon. There's a number of other West Coast banks which are being affected very, very quickly because they bank for a lot of startups, which have, over the last 2 years, the startup burn has been high versus amount of funding. Funding from VCs has dried up, so that their deposits have been questioned. And then there's no doubt in my mind that a lot of banks which have high exposure to commercial real estate will also now be questioned. So be prepared for like people to start attacking any bank with high commercial real estate portfolios. This is just going to get a lot worse. There's just no two way about it, and it really just depends on how the Fed is prepared to deal with it. This is kind of why I said I just don't care what they say about for 25 bips, because what they're really going to have to do is, are they going to bail out the banking system or not? Yellen, who is the Treasury Secretary at the moment, used to be the Fed chair before that. She has basically done a 180 and then a 360 over the last 3 days. She said, we're not going to bail out depositors. She said she would bail out
what's with that?
Then she said she wouldn't, and then she said she would.
That's what I don't get. Can you explain this for me as if I'm 5 years old? Like, I look, what's happening with her? Like, how is someone?
But it's one of these ones where she doesn't want to have to say that she. So there's, and I'm sorry to digress from like normal NFT chat, but there's a big.
I know, like, what the fuck is wrong with Janet Yellen? Like, you could talk about, because it affects our bags anyways. Like, how can someone with so much power change their minds 3 times in a course of 24 hours? Like, it's actually scary.
So back in 2008, there was a word that became very popular in like the popular vernacular, which was moral hazard, which is the idea that if you give insurance to too big to fail banks, they'll continue to take as much risk as possible. This has been one of the reasons why it's become so controversial to bail out banks, because they basically do risky things, and they know that at the end of the day, you're gonna save the banks, like no matter what you say or not. So the idea of basically coming out and saying that we're going to save any bank that goes under, or at least the depositors at any bank that goes under, is quite a controversial thing to say from a moral hazard standpoint. It could, maybe not this cycle, but next cycle, if that is perceived to be the base level of policy by the US, it could encourage even more risk taking at these next cycle. If you have your money in a bank account at the US right now, you're covered up to 250 grand. That might be okay for individuals, but it's very, very low for a lot of corporates. And the idea that the US would backstop deposits is a very, very high figure for a lot of banks. So it's a strange situation where right now, if she doesn't say that, if she doesn't say she'd back all the banks, if you have your money in a regional bank, which is the backbone of the US economy, it makes up more than 50% of all the lending that happens in the US, particularly on a commercial basis. You might move your money to a bigger bank. They're called this SIPs, which is basically a fancy acronym for banks which are too big to fail. You might move it to like a Chase or a Goldman Sachs, or one of the systemically important banks, which would cause the banking crisis. But sorry, I'm a little bit ill.
Take your time. Wait, it's just you and I, and we're both.
I know.
The one day we need Ovi, like you're ill. I guess I'll say I'm ill. The one day we need Ovi, and he's just like, that's him.
This is in the green room.
This is our co-host.
I'm still here. I'm just trying to figure out this camera.
Yeah, this is our co-host. Yeah, figuring it out during the show. This is our co-host, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. You can. That's why he's in the green room. It's because these cameras.
In the green room.
So,
anyway, if she doesn't say it, and if she does say it, there's questions about moral hazard. Like all the risks that these banks take suddenly becomes like, we'll bail out any bank, no matter what risks they were taking. And it remains to be seen if there's been like a broad level like malpractice or bad risk taking from these banks. Clearly there was a place like SVB, like not horrific, but there's clearly been a lack of risk management at a lot of financial institutions. And she's basically dancing back and forth between, if she doesn't say that, you could cause the bank run. But if she does say that, then it basically implies that banks are able to do whatever the hell they like, and that is not a politically easy thing to say, particularly in the Democratic Party. So it's a strange scenario. This is why I think that the Fed and Janet Yellen actually are running around like headless chickens. I think they've both lost complete credibility over the last week. I'm not listening to what Jerome Powell says, because what he does is very different. And I think that's the same with Janet Yellen. They're going to be forced to make decisions depending on whatever the hell they say anyway. Like their rhetoric means nothing at this stage. And whatever they think they want to do is going to be forced. Their hands are going to be forced. So I pay very little attention, and they're not doing themselves any help by just changing what they're saying every 24 hours as well. So it's all a bit stupid. What will happen will depend on what happens to the European banks and what happens to the regional banks, and it's going to get worse. Now, is this good for Bitcoin? Is this good for ETH? Balaji's basically saying, the fall of
he said 90 days. It's only been a week, so I'm here. I'm waiting.
Yeah, look, it might happen. That might be good for the world. Personally, I don't think that world burning equals Bitcoin going higher. I think you want the world to be saved, and I don't really have any sympathy for like the Bitcoin maximalists who kind of want to see the world burn so Bitcoin goes higher. I am more of the view that the Fed will end up printing a lot of money, whether they call it QE or not. There will be a huge bailout coming for Europe and for in the US, similar to the TARP program, if anyone knows what that was back in 2008. But it won't be called QE. It will be called something else, but it will essentially be QE. They're already, if you look at the one way to look at QE is, again, not look at what they're saying, but look at the Fed balance sheet. The Fed gradually started reducing the number of assets they've had over the last 18 months. In the course of the last week, all the assets that they have had sold over that 18 months has been reversed by 2/3. So it's already been reversed. So stop listening to what they're saying. Look at what they're doing. They're already reversing QE. I think that will happen even if they call it QE or not, and you'll see massive, massive bailouts. And I think in that world, the world doesn't burn, but I think a lot of people become disenfranchised with
the system.
The system, right?
I think it's a lot of trust. Like, well, me personally, I operate in the space. I've completely lost trust in anything. But I'm assuming most people. It's just me, so I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything. It's just like I hate going to the bank. For me, it's like going to the dentist. Like, explain it. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, exactly. I think people just will become very disenfranchised with that system, and that's not a system where the world burns. US debt to GDP is 130%. Arguably, that is a very high level, and it will again raise questions. I think I saw a stat which is like any country that's ever got past 125% debt to GDP ratio has ended up defaulting on its debt ever, which is kind of a wild figure. But the US has already passed that, so now it is the reserve currency of the world. So it probably is in a slightly different scenario, but the questions do become like, can you continue to have this much debt at the on the balance sheet of governments, and how does that? But that's a question for a longer period of time, and that's a question where I think the world doesn't burn, but I think and I still think Bitcoin and ETH can do well.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sylvie?
I agree. I think just like the environment we're heading into now is a really good environment for crypto, and the thing that you have to watch out for is if you do get a big sell from risk assets, it will affect crypto. And if you do get a 20% back up in the S&P 500, which is possible, it's bad for crypto. But I think that will present an amazing buying opportunity. But who knows, man? Like the rally so far has surprised most people, right? And that could continue to happen because there are real reasons for it now. And a lot of the systemic risk that you had in crypto got wiped out last year. So it's tough not to be bullish, but it's also like, wow, I can't believe it actually does keep going higher, and it's a difficult one to comprehend from that perspective. But I don't know. Like, I guess if you invest and have a long time horizon, and I'm talking like 3 to 5 years, then it's an easier thing just to hold on to things here, because I think we still have a lot more way to go. But it's concerning. It is nerving sometimes, because it's like, well, if I just sell some stuff here, can I buy it back lower? Because all this bank stuff could get pretty bad. And it's a tough decision to make, really. There's no real easy answer. And I think, I've never had like such little conviction in the market as a it's been a long time since I've had such little conviction in the market, I would say.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Damn. And you guys, I mean, that was your bread and butter. You were in it all day, right? So it's pretty wild. It's actually wild hearing it from you guys. Not gonna lie.
I had a meeting with somebody today who I really respect on the risk side, and he said he thinks the easiest trade right now is actually just to be short the S&P.
Really?
Because he thinks that will go down 20%. He thinks that the long crypto short S&P trade probably makes money, but he thinks out of the two of those legs, he thinks we're heading to a world where stocks are about to go a lot lower because we're about to go through a banking crisis, and this is a slightly different money printer goes burr, because this isn't money printer goes burr like it was in 2020, where we reopen the economy and everything gets saved. This is like the banking system collapsed. There is no doubt in my mind we're about to go through a credit crunch globally. Like, no bank is offering credit right now, and if you know economics kind of 101, credit actually supports the whole of capitalism. As credit expands, generally you see growth expand, and as it contracts, you generally see massive contractions in growth. If you run a bank right now, and the Fed / ECB / Bank of England is coming in to save banks, you are by nature going to massively decrease the amount of risk and the amount of credit you are willing to provide across the board. So I think we're headed to a 2008 style credit crunch. What that means with Bitcoin and ETH theoretically means that it should be higher, right? Like if you believe in the long-term values of crypto and ETH, that's much higher. But what you've tended to see during these massive sell-offs is correlation goes to 1. Crypto is incredibly liquid. And people tend to sell it because it's easy to, like, you have your money in stocks and they go down 20%, you have some money in crypto, you're probably going to sell the crypto because it's liquid, it gets out of it. So I think it's one of those ones where I sit there and I kind of agree with what he said this morning, is that maybe you're short the S&P and you buy dips in crypto. And I think in a year's time, crypto will be higher, but the next few months could be, if a banking crisis is going to happen of the scale that I think it's about to happen, I think it's a dangerous time to go all in.
Yeah.
I agree. You want to have some powder dry.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Sorry, Ovi distracts me when you text the chat. And he's like the funniest things in the world. Because I have a monitor. I have 2 monitors. I have you guys here, and I have life here. Everything, Twitter. Anyways, I pulled out this tweet from a philosopher, Paul Graham, on August 13th, 2021. A friend of mine who was basically never wrong about financial questions converted 80% of his Bitcoin into Ethereum. I don't know why I'm pulling this up. It reminded me when Mando was like, I spoke to a friend I really respect. But yeah, I mean, technically speaking, and one of the comments was right. Like, this banking scenario is exactly why Satoshi wrote the white paper. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, technically speaking, sorry. All this happening right now is why cryptocurrency exists, right? Well, Bitcoin, let's put it that way. So it's interesting. Will it follow? We'll see, right? But there's going to be a point in time you'd have to guess where, like, you'd have to imagine where, like, the scenario that for which it was built actually plays out, which is probably what Balaji is betting on, right? So that's what he's saying. Listen, how many days are we since the bet? We need to have a countdown of that bet on the show. Like, what is it? 7 days?
It's never going to happen. It's never going to
What
happen.
do you mean it's never going to happen? What are you talking like that? What are you talking like that? Don't. You have to listen.
If Bitcoin goes to 1 million, the world is burning.
You will eat your own
and
shit.
I don't think that's what anyone wants.
Yeah. No, I agree. Camilla's asking, where do I put all my money?
Look, I think if you're gonna put your money into anything, I do think Bitcoin and ETH are good places to put your money. I just think you have to be prepared for the idea that banking crisis doesn't necessarily, like a banking crisis where a number of systemically important banks end up getting questioned and you end up in a sovereign crisis as well. That is not a world where I can guarantee where Bitcoin and ETH goes up. That is a world where you are surprised that Bitcoin and ETH go up, but it's still possible. And I think you just have to be prepared for the volatility.
100%. So anyways, wow. I didn't realize we talked about banks so much today, but it is what it is. I mean, this is what's happening, and this is what you need to know. You know, this is what they don't teach you in schools. And you got to be aware. I mean, we could talk about NFTs all day, but they're bleeding anyways. I pulled out DGen's Finance right now. Bad price. I refresh the site. I check again. Bad price. Let's get into it. Who is the man? Macro daddy of the land. Can you dig it?
Look, we can talk about bad price for a long time. If you do the 30-day on DGens, I think we don't really need to say more on that, right? Do the 30-day on that. It's not pretty. Looks like CryptoPunk's down 20, Mutant Ape's down 25, Bored Ape's down 25, Other D's down 25, Budgie Penguin's down 20, Clonex is about to hit 2. 2-handle on CloneX is about to happen. And probably similarly Doodles. I think on Blur it's like a 3.
Oh my god! Holy shit! I never looked at it that way on the 30-day, Mando. Wow.
It's across the board.
Hold on, look at Ovi 1 second. Hold on, just hold on.
Like, what is this?
I thought my camera was off. Apparently not.
Oh man.
Just
I love how you use the show to be your moment.
It just grinds away at me. I just want to get it done.
I love how like he uses the show as the like test, like not before, not after. It's the time that he's in here that he uses as a test.
No.
All right, we'll send Ovi back into the studio. Here you go. So hold on. No, not me. And so no, definitely not me like that. Okay, there you go. Wait, where's it? Damn it.
Right, fucked up now.
What are we? Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. That's nice. Well, not nice, but look at that.
Nice.
I saw that Matchy got hit on another like 10 punks overnight. I think he owns like 120 now. It's just not good. But there's not really much to add. Let's be honest.
The thing is, like,
we're just sitting here waiting.
Owning punks, I'm convinced that like Machi getting hit on punks is actually going to age well. Like getting hit on Moonbirds, getting hit by maybe your apes, like the 72 apes, that could age well over a long time frame. But I'm convinced that like getting hit on punks 110 times, it could actually turn into a positive over 2 to 3 years.
That's a punk Maxi talking right now, but yes, I agree with you. It's a good buy, but let's be honest, is he gonna hold them? I think it's the real question, right?
Yeah.
Like he traditionally he got hit at 73. And I think the bid wall is at 55, so it's similar to the sort of dip that he took on the apes. It just like, let's see if he decides to do that.
Wallet is so he sold some, so he has 98. So he must have
got 98. All right, so we got
we've been following Matchy's wallet, like the punk stuff. He's got his apes are crazy, bro. This wallet is insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're all a lot of. But see, he got hit on punks are not floors. Like this hat, not usually floors. Let me see. Yeah, it's not a floor punk. There's a few punks that are not floor punks per se.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
so he's big in the punk game. It does feel like be prepared mentally for that to get worse. I think.
Bro, DT 4.8 is down 43%. It was a 12 ETH around the Super Bowl. You have Meebits under 3 now. Like I haven't seen him break under 3 in a while. The heavy metal boxes, if anything, are up.
This is the game of musical chairs that I think we were talking about, right? Like as liquidity comes out of the system from Blur, you could easily see a scenario like that. And unfortunately, I do have some sympathy for like why people are not liking Blur, because there is such positive momentum in this market and people get so scared that when stuff goes down a lot, it often brings out more sellers. Like punks going down 10% or apes going down 10% means it's more likely that they will go down lower. And so we just need a period of stability. I don't think necessarily that stability is coming, given I think the decrease in volumes is going to continue from Blur, and that won't necessarily lead to higher floor prices. So I think until the end of the first period of the Blur airdrop, I think we could still see an overhang here.
Everybody got so excited over some fucking airdrop.
But we said the first 3 months were going to be, we actually said the first 3 months were going to be very, very strong. It ended up being the first 2 months.
We were saying Jan and Feb were going to be strong.
And they were. They were very, very strong. And then as the liquidity has then started to deflate, you've seen very, very aggressive price action across the board in NFTs. Other than that, like there has been some announcements over the last few days. It looks like Kangpai Pandas, who we've been big fans of.
Yeah,
They announced a range of different utilities for the Can Buy Pandas. They're moving to a point system. They've opened up their own casino. Definitely going down the route of like, I don't know, the Las Vegas style.
That's it's perfect for them. I think it fits the narrative, right? That's
100%.
It's ice bags. It's that community, you know.
Yeah, look,
right.
So I think this is good. Like he's delivering a utility which I think suits the holders. And let's just see how that one develops. But that one's definitely been a big outperformer. You actually know the Creeps. Creeps announced they are working alongside a venture studio which is backed by Rockstar Games, the creators of GTA, to create a new game. So it looks like Creeps is.
These guys are working, man. I know him, right? I know Joe. Obviously, he was at the reg party too. Good people, you know.
Yeah. So Dan Houser, I think, is Revolving Games is called. Web3 studio Overlord taps Dan Houser backed Revolving Games to build NFT game. And this feels if it's a Decrypt article, but if you read it, it definitely feels like there's gonna be a focus on the game rather than some sort of, I don't know, token Ponzonomics sort of stuff. There's gonna be let's get the game good first. It's gonna be like a strategy game. It looks like it's gonna be like a sci-fi. I don't know. It's got lizards in space. That sort of vibe. But good to see. Like that's a proper studio, I think, creating the game. And I can only imagine they've got that studio's got a decent amount of funding. So I think they're probably in a good spot, and that probably now defines the Creeps for the next year or two. I don't know how long it will take to build a game like that, but that's definitely going to be the main backbone, I think, of what Creeps is going to be. And they've been pretty public about what about that being their North Star as well, to move into gaming. So I guess those are two positive moves.
We need to have him on the show. We just got to let's get Joe and Dom on the show.
100%. I think they'd be very keen. And then in the Yuga ecosystem, the second trip was announced, which, if you remember the first trip, you were chasing a bunch of coders. I think there was about 5,000 people playing. It looks like, you need to read into the announcement, but it looks like if you own another deed and you're one of the first people to get into the game, I think it's something like 10,000 or 15,000 people will be able to play. But it's a first come, first served basis. It's going to be, the link is going to be shared tomorrow, I believe.
Dude, this is going to be fucking huge. Like, honestly, that's pretty much the news of the week. Like, the fact, look, Ovi's back with the crazy camera.
Oh, Jesus.
Fixed it. Oh, I didn't fix it. Almost fixed it.
Wow, you look angelical.
This is how I like it, just heavenly.
You look heavenly. You look like you just got out of heaven.
Hold on, is this the new camera or the old camera?
I don't know. He went back in time for
this
sure.
This is the new camera, and you still have that setting.
Oh! No! There you go.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
We're almost there. Let's go. The show. I'm so happy that Ovi, it's 11:20.
Why do you keep making it so light?
Yeah, exactly. Just chill. There you go. All you have to do is buy the Elgato light. I have one here. I have one there. One light goes towards the art there that you can see, and one light is on my face, but from above, like whoa. And anyways, so what I want to say, the other side, it's dude. Like, second trip is a big deal. We need something, and like, this is good. Like, the second trip, the first trip was great. Second trip, I love what they did with team captains. I know we didn't talk about it much yet, but basically, there are team captains for the second trip that were announced. And it's JF Wong, so Jimmy Wong, Bryson, y'all know Bryson, love Bryson, Low Belly, and Chat Medici. You also all know Chat Medici. And so basically what's going to happen is that you're going to be like assigned a team when you get into the second trip from Yuga Labs, and it's actually pretty wild. I mean, look, like they've put some dope teaser videos. They put a teaser. There you go. Let's watch this thing for a second. It's 30 seconds. All right. I guess we'll see what happens on the second trip.
Looks intense.
Dude, it looks very intense. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot. So second trip. So I'm trying to read the news on it right now. But saying the Voyager queue for second trip will open at 11:30 a.m. on March 25th. That's tomorrow. Wow, it's gonna be a big fucking deal. Tomorrow is the second trip. Wow. This is exciting.
That's pretty exciting.
Right? Voyagers are prioritized over guests for entry to the second trip and will be transported in batches from the queue to the infinity space until regional server capacity is reached. When second trip begins, any Voyagers who are unable to join will be redirected to the live stream. No additional Voyagers will be able to get into the second trip once the event has begun. So don't be late. Yeah, so don't be late. 11:30 a.m. if you're trying to participate. I'm probably gonna be watching. But damn, wow. It's here. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's pretty cool to see. Like, I don't know. Every time there's like a big like event like that for Yuga, I think it's cool because it's like haven't seen the fucking thing build up from mint to like this is always such a it's an insane feeling for me. I don't know. It's wild. I mean, you were minting them, so you know how it feels. So it's actually crazy. Wow.
A lot of expectations into big announcements and yeah, hopefully they pull it off.
Fuck. Dude, so if anyone's interested in participating, it's news.yuga.com. That's where you get all the news and you make your own little account. And you create like a code to get in and they have all the news there. Voyager PFPs? Voyager avatars have been upgraded for second trip. Participants can press backspace to cycle through each of the new Voyager avatars. Press I to customize a strata color pattern and will have an opportunity to add an NFT PFP to their Voyager's face.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the photos of it. It looks kind of weird, if I'm honest. Like
you just watch the video. Yeah.
The photo of the Voyagers, like you basically get a 2D style avatar at the front of your Voyager. It kind of looks kind of strange, but yeah, looks like it's gonna be a big deal. Good to see the conversation was really good between you two after I
it was a lot of back and forth, and
that's just amazing, man. It's amazing. Obi was just too busy looking at his camera settings. Like he thinks his job is done. Just didn't say anything. You two went back and forth and said this is going to be amazing about 10 times while I was off there. You guys really like, good content, guys. Well done. Keep it up.
I really do feel like I've done my job here.
It's not like I told you guys.
This is amazing. You think it's amazing? Yeah, I think it's really amazing. I think it's amazing. I was off for like 20 seconds and you two.
It's just amazing.
Obi's just sitting there just going like, I've done my camera. It's amazing. That's all I need to do.
The show has just become us hanging out. I love how like as the show progresses on YouTube every day, it's just become us hanging out. One day we'll have no titles. It's gonna be like, you know how we talk all day? It's gonna be like our hour and a half call every morning is gonna be this show.
You know what I love about the show? I just feel like I can really be myself. Like
Same.
And just do things like not listen sometimes or just, fuck about. And like, when you're in like a real job, you can't switch off. You got to like stay switched on the whole time. Because
we're so serious all day too. Like, little do people know, we're actually very fucking serious the rest of the day. Like, it's so intense for me all day. So this show is like really good. Like, even after this, I have like 7 calls lined up with like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them lined up. After this, it's really serious behind the scenes. Like, it's very intense, right? Because we're actually running companies. And so this show is just like, I don't know. It's great. It's great. Very nice. By the way, Ovi, your camera looks insane.
It's
like,
good, right?
I have to say, like, it looks amazing. I think it looks amazing.
I'm so happy. It's really made my day.
Even your teeth are like really nice on camera like that. Like, I don't know how to explain.
You need to heavily blur the background, though. You know what I mean? I don't know what filter you need to do, but like
that
is a divorced father's.
This doesn't take a long time. This doesn't take a long time to make. Like all this stuff. I need to change this. It's gonna be nicer. The back wall here. I'm gonna remove everything and change it up a bit. I finished this wall. I think I hung sneakers up, but you need to do something like that and just hang
adjusting his camera.
You asked me to blur it more, so I tried. But then I realized you're taking the piss. So
camera looks great. By the way, if the Joker Club is here, definitely request to speak. So I can bring you guys up. We're gonna give this thing a second attempt today. But What OSF looks like he's about to start teaching. Oh, the code. So what I'm gonna do. So some people are requesting that I gamify this whole code thing for stubs, right? And then I make a whole thing about it, build up the thing. I think sometimes I'm gonna do it so that I give it at the first 5 minutes of the show, right? And sometimes I give it the last 5 minutes, sometimes in the middle. I guess I find myself to do it at 11:30 a.m. every day because it's like usually like a break for us. It's like we have like segments. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. You know, and we can maybe gamify that because a lot of people want the code. I mean, Stubs is pretty successful. You know, I think it's gonna be fun. The first piece of artwork is actually nuts. And super fun.
See the comment. OSF looks like he's about to start teaching me a drop shipping course. Oh my god, mate. Hey guys, here are 5 ways for you to make money out of Amazon.
Hey guys, let me tell you a thread on how to write a thread.
Well, hold on. I have one for you. Art is subjective. There's no way to appraise it. There's no way to collect it. There's no one way to create it. There's no one way to market it. Let people create what they want to create. Let people collect what they want to collect. Quit gatekeeping. How's that one?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good tweet, Ovi. That's a good tweet. I'm gonna drop a like on your tweet. That was Ovi's tweet, by the way, from 6:44 a.m. This morning. Good one. Great one. You really feel inspired these days. You've been tweeting a lot. You've been tweeting some inspiring stuff lately. And Mendo's looking at me like, no. Yeah, look at this beautiful punk. Oh, look at this. Your last posts are all red guys. So it shows only red guys here.
Just red guys, yeah.
I love that. Let ChatGPT write your tweets. I mean, Mando literally uses ChatGPT to tweet.
It's so incredible.
By the way, Mando, tweets. To think it sucks. I think it's so stupid. I can't stand it. I went and tried, and I've
done plugins now. Everyone's going crazy about ChatGPT at the moment.
No, ChatGPT is great. I love ChatGPT.
Plugins now for
Strawberry Fields
across a bunch of different applications now. So ChatGPT, you're gonna get even more threads on Twitter about it.
Yeah. By the way, I minted my Orcon Carpe Diem from yesterday. That's
nice.
it. I can't wait to see what I get. Do we know when the reveal is? I minted those.
I think after public mint. So far, it's just the
tomorrow.
Spin.
Yeah, I can't wait to get mine. I've been wanting to collect his work for a long time. It's just pretty expensive. So, I'm gonna lie. If I'm being honest, saying GM is not toxic positivity. It's literally just a greeting. If you find it offensive, then you might need to start by questioning.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
I agree. Ovi, you have some banger tweets these days. I mean, look at
what's wrong with saying good morning? Like,
yeah,
you know
I agree. I totally agree. There's nothing wrong with saying good morning.
Just because I say GM doesn't mean I think things aren't wrong in the world. Like,
I don't think I've missed a single GM on Twitter since I joined the space. I don't think I've ever, even if I'm like not feeling it or if I'm like dead, the first thing I do in the morning, I can't like mentally, I can't tweet unless I posted a GM. Does that happen to you guys?
Just because I say GM doesn't mean I think everything's all dandy out there.
Yeah, it's Hobie's been throwing shots, definitely. Sorry, y'all. Sorry about today's show. You know, we're definitely in the mud.
I replied to your tweet actually.
So the pandas did this. The creeps did that. Love them. I need to get a creeps, so I can also have that one. I have like an NFT. I think of every community at this stage. I'm gonna pick one up. They also did this whole contract migration, which was really clean, nice, and they organized it pretty well, which was super sick. I think a lot of projects are probably gonna end up doing that. I think actually, speaking of which, the plague that is doing that right now. There's like a contract migration happening at the moment because of the whole royalty situation. But anyways, the code today for stubs, if you go to rug.fm, should I don't even partake in stubs anymore because I think it's not fair because I do have the code before. But if you go to Rosef's room, reminds me of an asylum. Remove his paintings and skateboard and have him throw on a straight jacket and bam, you wouldn't be able to tell. You guys are savages. Oh my god. You guys are absolute savages. So anyways, today's big code, if you go on rug.fm /stubs, Are you ready? By the way, we're gonna change this soon, so it's just gonna have one thing with one passcode. So that's coming soon. The Fair team is always grinding on making this experience even better. So you can just go. You either need to have a Corey Van Loo Face of Web 3, a DGens Access Pass, a Rug Radio membership pass, a Rug Radio Genesis NFT, Mr. Rugs, and the code today. The code today. So don't mind me. I don't pick the codes anymore. That's why they're not as fun as they used to be. But the code is Minute, in honor of Stubbs minting out in under a minute yesterday. MINUTE. 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 The code today is Minute to claim your Stubbs. I'm writing it down in the YouTube chat if you want to copy paste it. Rug.fm/Stubbs. But it's also the code to claim your Rug token for the day, as usual. If you go to rug.fm/rewards, then you opt in right here. You connect your account, and then boom, Minute. There you go. Claim secret code. I got my 3 Rug token right there in 2 seconds for doing so. Minute, MINUTE is the code for today's stub. We can't wait, actually. We cannot wait to present you the first artist. I think we presented on Monday. It was super cool. And the first burn is next Friday in a week. It's exciting, right? Whoop, my bad. Wrong button.
It's fire.
But anyways, anyway, there you go. It took me a minute to get it. Nah, that's not bad, Hefner. That's not bad. Got it. Archival got it. Freed Seed got it. Luis Almeida got it. So it is working in the chat. Also on Twitter, when you get your stuff, there's a nice little screen that pops up. Make sure you post that. Tweet at us, tag us at RecMando, at OSFRect, at Farouk on Twitter, and at Rug Radio, of course, and DJs while you're at it. There you go. Tag everyone. All right.
Are we gonna start hyping this? Are we gonna start bringing out code tweets with us shaking hands with random people?
Well, the thing is to remove code tweets. So I would.
Oh, okay.
By the way, I went to gym yesterday. Getting close to that 10%.
10%. 10% is gonna happen, man.
Dude, you know what? I gotta say, Ovi, with this camera, now I could believe the 10% more.
10%.
Now I could believe the 10% a little more. So minute MINUT is the code for today's stub. But anyways.
Oh wow, it's already minted out. We should get more. I think
fuck?
It's minted out in 2 blocks apparently.
Yeah.
Feels like we need to get like 1,000 of these, don't we? And then just have the burn higher. So many people are.
I see. So like more stubs burnt to get a specific artwork.
Yeah, exactly.
But more stubs available doing the. Yeah. You know what? That's what we're gonna do. I like that idea. I like that because we want to get more people, right? The idea is to get as many people as possible into the show, not the same 100, right? And so if you limit to 100, technically speaking, it makes it even harder. Some people will be just like, fuck it. But we'll see. I mean, it depends, right? It also depends on like people will like the art and like people will see that it's really cool artists are involved in this, like up and coming ones and like bigger artists as well. And then you have like artists like Ovi, just like sitting right there in the middle. This new generation of artists that were, came out of nowhere, and that didn't work their way up to deserve what they deserve. Ovi. So dandy. No, I'm playing. But I think it depends. I think it depends like on the art and everything. But anyways, we are joined by the groupe Partouche. I love that. We're going to do you know what? This next segment is in French. Okay. We're joined by the groupe Partouche. We have Ilya probably behind the scenes. We have Maurice behind the scenes. What's up?
Hello,
good morning.
guys.
Good morning, GM.
Hey, GM, man. Hello. It's the afternoon, but it's a pleasure to be here, man. And I apologize for yesterday, man. We were too busy. We were too busy. We couldn't get away from Paris Blockchain Week, man. We had to deal. We had 2 dwarfs with us, like dressed as jokers, like going around creating panic and havoc. So, and we couldn't find a place of connection.
Hold on. Hold on. He's not kidding. Look at the YouTube.
I think.
Wow.
Oh my God, this is so funny. Look at this. Is that
yeah, bro? We couldn't have connection, bro. When I was doing and the worst thing is that one of the dudes, he had like this in French you call it a cravache. It's like those little whips, that they use with horses. And he was walking around the event like smacking people on the ass, bro. And he didn't know, and he actually like I think he got a dude like the highest politician in France in crypto on the ass, bro, and the guy complained to the event and everything.
No.
It was pretty wild, bro. He got into an argument with our CEO, with Maurice. Maurice tried to confiscate it from him, but he refused, bro. They had like 5 people had to try to get it from him, and he refused. Now it was pretty wild, bro.
Well,
But I'm happy to be here today, bro.
well, that if France tomorrow morning or Monday morning announces that they're banning crypto in the country, you know why, and you know who to blame, and it's not going to be Farouk. You know, you're gonna know how to blame, right, Ovi? It's I mean, you know, you.
Bro, I did, and I mean, it didn't even stop there, bro. Because we like our COO, bro. He was trying to prank us, bro. So even when I did my keynote on stage, and I didn't know that I thought it was gonna be normal, but these guys sent the 2 of them on stage whilst I was pitching, and they started whipping my ass, smacking my ass, beatboxing, everything, bro. I'm not joking. It was just too wild, bro. But like if it didn't feel real, bro. And when I kept, every time I was going to meet and like to my meetings, bro, they would both come with me, and I would introduce them dead on serious, and the people trying to stay serious, bro. But it was an interesting experience, bro. But
that's definitely interesting. So how is Paris Blockchain Week? Because that we were there
honestly,
obviously last month, but
it was really it's. I mean, it wasn't this. I think the way I would explain it is that like if I had to like differentiate it, is that like it's like NFT Paris is community centric. Paris Blockchain Week is more professional. I would say like a salon where there's more like. I mean, if you're an end consumer that's here like buying NFTs, you would probably have more fun going to NFT Paris than to Paris Blockchain Week. But if you're in the industry as a professional and you're looking for like new solutions for what you're doing, Paris Blockchain Week is definitely a must go to, you know.
Okay, interesting.
So both were really nice. We were at NFT Paris as well, and I think Paris Blockchain Week. I mean, in my opinion, it's the best event I've been to. Like we're pretty close with the guy who created it, but bro, like on the VIP dinner, they made the whole Louvre like private. There was a private visit of the whole museum, bro.
Wait,
like
what?
Yeah, bro. It was pretty. Like they went all in, bro. There was like a private visit. You could see the Mona Lisa in the evening, bro. Right before the like dinner, the VIP dinner, you could basically go and see the whole the whole museum, like only the guests. I don't know how they got away with that, bro. But it was beautiful, bro.
That is wow. I guess we're missing out. Ovi.
No, it's fine. You guys. NFT Paris was nice, man. And plus, I saw that Rec did an after party at Carmen. I actually passed by. I didn't manage to stay long, but like Rec did an after. You guys did an after party.
They did.
At Carmen, bro. We did one like 4 days ago. It's actually my uncle's club.
There you go, Ovi.
No,
I got the plug. Yeah, I got you the plug. You know, I got you a plug straight on the show. Next time you need to have an event in Paris, and you want to go to Carmen, which was actually
that's why, bro. When I saw you guys did the event, I was like, oh. The cheeky dudes, like like they know, bro.
cheeky dudes. But yeah, yo, let's talk about what you guys are up to. Of course, like we couldn't make it yesterday. That for those of you tuning in from yesterday, we had obviously some tech difficulties, but also there was low service, and they were obviously at the Paris Blockchain Week. So it's it's good to hear how the Blockchain Week is going on, and actually a private visit of the Louvre at night just for the people there and the speakers dinner and whatnot. That is actually pretty cool. If you ask me, not gonna lie, that's pretty special. But anyways, let's talk about Joker Club. Obviously you guys wanted to come yesterday. You were yesterday's part of the show, so moved it on to today, and you have your mint actually that's live at the moment. So why don't you talk to us about, you know, give us a little background. You know, let's go back to the intros.
For sure, bro.
We didn't get to hear yesterday. Little intro behind of who you guys are and what you guys do.
For sure, man. So we're actually like a pretty old company. We're 50 years old. It's my grandfather who founded the company in 1973, And it started with one casino in the north of France, and now we have 42 casinos spread across Europe, mostly in France, 2 in Belgium, 2 in Switzerland. We have the only casino of Geneva. We have the only casino of Djerba, the capital of Tunisia, and we have 15 hotels, 70 restaurants, and I don't know how you say in English, but like salle de spectacle. Like we have
like event room.
Yeah, event rooms like across a lot of like of our establishments as well, and we organize more than 4,000 events per year.
Wow.
We have, I think, like 2 golfs as well, and I mean we have quite a lot of like in entertainment. We have quite a lot of like a huge array of different different like things, and basically. So it's my father was now running the company since a long time. My grandpa is like he's still there, of course, but I was like, everyone was expecting me to kind of go into the traditional path and go like one job after the other, and slowly go up the ladder and wait like 20 years until I could like do some cool shit. But I kind of didn't want that path, so I kind of like dropped out of uni. So I was also working a full-time job in my dad's online casino in Switzerland, so I dropped out of that. I stopped everything and I put all my money into shitcoins. This is like 2 years ago, and during like about a bit less than 2 years, around 2 years ago, and I made quite a bit of money into shitcoins. Lost it all in NFTs. And then I really understood, and I mean I think I did at least understood what the consumer was, what I thought, what I was looking for in those NFTs. So I could I was kind of ahead of the curve in terms of what what the market was looking for. So I started like exploring quite a bit of use cases. And then my dad like asked me, once I started like talking to pretty cool projects and like some big projects started to like want to like talk more seriously. My dad was like, "Oop, come back. Let's make a subsidiary here." And that's when we started exploring like utility for the whole casino group. And I actually started from a simple idea, which like I mean the brainstorm, the direction that what Joker Club became today started from like one day when I was just on OpenSea looking at NFT collections and how they were generated, and I was like, whoa. This is like everyone is saying that they're making an NFT, but the only part that's truly non-fungible is the art. Like nobody is creating like a non-fungible asset, or at least when I was looking at it, I hadn't seen any. So I was thinking, what if I was to attach a physical utility to each graphic asset? Well, then everyone would have a unique like utility and a unique like kind of loyalty program. So it kind of started from that vision, but then we realized that we can't just like force the utility onto the consumer. So we want to build that system with the community, and otherwise, like we also separated the collection into like 4 separate families. So there's like there's the hearts, the clubs, the diamonds, and the spades, and each family represents like a mentality and the kind of more like a category of utility. So you have like the artists, the gamblers, the entrepreneurs, and the degens, and you can kind of expect like I want to make it like a Hogwarts type like dynamic rarity, where based on specific metrics that we like, some we already have in mind and some we can determine with the community. But the family that has the most points will get like better utility, like we like a party just for them, or it depends how far they go. But based on how dominant they are, we don't really have any limits. Like there's the main sentence that like, just to close this little introduction, the main sentence that one of our sentences that we really like use internally is, we sell the dream and the client sets the price. And that's a saying that we always use with casinos, that my dad used to use, but I think it really applies to NFTs, because it's like the community, like the project is in a way selling a dream, and the community can decide where they want that dream to go. And the difference that we have from like many other projects is that we can actually like place the bar as high as the consumer does.
I like that. I mean, you guys obviously through your family have a past of creating these like clubs and and communities. And what's interesting is that a lot of the people are trying to, you guys are kind of reversing it. What I find interesting with like brands like this come into the space all the time is because you already have like a lot of projects want to have their own, like, are obviously like trying to be like a Soho House and whatnot, and become a club, a community, and then like they, you know what I mean? Obviously, like they try to aspire to be a club, but the thing is, it's really hard. Like bridging from URL to IRL is extremely fucking tough, right? And what's interesting with you guys is that you already have the 42 casinos. You already have the the event rooms, let's say the spectacle, like you're saying, and everything. Mando, you were asking about a casino yesterday. Did you go gamble in one of those? Is that what I'm getting?
The casino in Nice, I believe that.
You guys own the casino in Nice?
Yeah, Nice and Cannes as well.
So you went there, Mando. Did you make money, or you lose money over there, Mando?
You know, I don't even remember. I think it was okay. I think I won money that night.
Good to hear. Good to hear, man. You know what? My dad always says, like, the worst thing that can happen to a player is to win. He found the technique.
Your dad, you motherfuckers are real ones. We're degens. I mean, these guys have been these guys have been more degens than me. They've been tried 5 for 10 years. You know, we're quite the degens in this space. We call it's the online casino 24/7 in crypto. But these people have been in for 50 years. These guys created. These guys are the original red guys.
Bro, man, like, honestly, I could tell you like countless stories about like my father and my uncles, like even Maurice, who's here listening right now, like playing the most crazy games.
Get Maurice on the line.
Like, bro, they'll be like sitting in a room. There's like a wall, and they have 2 coins, and they're like, okay, whoever gets the coin the closest to the wall, and they'll start with like €5 a round, and then they'll end up being like €200 per round, and it's just whoever gets the coin the closest to the wall without touching the wall. But I grew up in that. That's why, like, for me, like Web3 was like intuitive. Like it felt normal. You were born in it.
You're like, literally built for you were like conceived for Web3. Like
well, in a way, I kind of see it like that. And like humbly, what I will say though is that since I grew up in that environment, but I've always been passionate about Web3 since I was quite young. Like I know that like there might be someone that has better knowledge about Web3 than me. There might be someone that has better casino knowledge than me, but there's definitely not someone that has the same combination that I do.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty impressive. So let's get back to the Joker Club, right? Like, because
100%. And there's something else I wanted to say is like,
tell us
with casinos is that like every casino always like has the same offer. So like no matter what casino you go to, you're facing the same statistics on the same game. So that's since the beginning of time, casino, or at least since it's been like proper regulated, casinos has been a real challenge about like how are you going to differentiate your offer from the community.
Who's playing those videos?
It's Jordan. But yeah, no, it's like it's always been played on how you're gonna like receive your customer differently, how are you gonna smile to him, give him that extra little thing that's gonna make him be happy to come back because you have the exact same offer. It's not like another market where you can just have a better product. And so that's why for me like I find NFTs like impressingly similar in the sense that it's like everyone starts with a smart contract, and then it's like how are you going to interact with your community and build the utility around it to change the story around it.
Yeah, I like that a lot, and I think it's super interesting. So to tell us more about the Joker Club, right? And what you guys are building.
I think like since I'm sure most of your listeners are like not based in France. Like I think like one of the most interesting utilities, at least in my opinion, and the leverage that we have that no one else I haven't seen any project in the world that has this leverage, is that we're gonna like try to push forward as many projects as we can, and we promise to look at all the projects that use the artwork as like we're gonna give away all the full commercial rights and IP to all our holders, and we're gonna push forward all the projects that use the IP. And the difference is that like if someone makes like an alcohol or makes like any product, consumable product, with their artwork, we can actually find the need for that product within our physical ecosystem. Like someone makes alcohol, we can serve that in all our bars. Someone makes like some, I don't know, like reheatable food, we can have that in our casinos when the kitchens are closed. Someone makes like some napkins, we can get those napkins for our restaurants. Like we have that leverage that, in my opinion, no other collection, I mean, at least I haven't seen any other collection that has that leverage or that uses it that way. But we really want to like push forward every person that's going to use the IP and find ways of like connecting our ecosystem to what they're doing. So that they can like, if someone like if someone like, I don't know, we already work with thousands of suppliers, and whether it's on the casinos individually, on the whole group level. But if those suppliers start like, if I can get a supplier that supplies me the exact same product, but he's used the Joker and he's shown me that he believes in my community, well, I'm obviously going to prefer working with him than with someone who's just there for the profit.
That's pretty much it, and I'm really a big fan of that approach for sure. So talk to us more. So you guys started minting today, right? I know you guys wanted to come yesterday to talk about that happening today. So you guys started minting today?
Yeah, exactly. We started minting like yesterday evening. And I mean, it's been going pretty well. Like, to be honest, like if I was to compare to the market before, is that people used to buy a lot from like the OpenSea volume, but right now every single person that's minted is people that we've seen physically, whether it's like from speaks that we've done across Europe or like events that we've attended. Like, I can't recall, but I know I have an idea pretty much of like all the people that have minted. Like, it's people that have seen us like in person.
I like
so,
that.
So that's been like, so.
Oh, wow, already,
so I mean, we're not in a
mints. That's nice.
We're not in a rush. Like, we know that we have the utility to back what we're doing, and like at the end of the day, like,
whoa, sorry, that freaked me out. That's the website.
Too,
holy shit.
But yeah, like, and to give you a bit more background on Partouche Multiverse, which is the subsidiary that we founded, is that we called it Partouche Multiverse because we don't want to like we're not gamers. We don't create. We're like, even though we love gaming and we've created many gaming experiences, like, we're not a video game company. We're a physical casino company. So I think where our approach is really different is that we're really thinking of ways to gamify like the real life experience rather than creating like fully virtual experiences. Even though we've made like a VR roller coaster 8 years ago that we had at Paris Blockchain Week that some of you might have tried. That we've also made like a lot of gaming experiences, and we've developed like a lot of we've been I mean, they've been here for 50 years. I was quite young when all of this happened, but they were also pioneers of the online poker in France, and I was like 10, but they and they were even younger, I think, but they, and like my dad actually like pioneered the laws of online poker in France. Because of some like trials, but it was all good in the end. But it's from the ancients in the company, they seem to say that like NFTs has that same euphoric feeling of online poker, but it's centered around communities.
100%. It's I haven't heard that one before. That it has this it's similar to the online poker feel, but I like that. I'm actually just minting one right now. I've been minting a lot of shit. I guess I mint every time someone comes on our show. I just mint their stuff.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of mint. That's a lot of mint.
Yesterday. There you go. Congratulations. There you go. That was quick. I better get something rare.
Welcome,
Julius.
bro.
I better get super rare. I want the golden. I want the golden Joker Club. No, I'm kidding. But I'm definitely going to use my utility, because when I talked to Maurice, and I'm sure he's listening, when I talked to Maurice, boys, a few weeks ago, Maurice was telling me, he's like, listen, what I found fun about the comments, first of all, I love that they're French, obviously, because, it's always fun to have French people in space. But second of all, they're like, look, like this thing can mint out day one or it can mint out in the year. We don't care, because we can just do something and like at a different level. But what they're trying to do actually, which was what I found interesting from my conversation with Maurice, Maurice is the CEO, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Maurice is the CEO of Partouche Multiverse and the vice president of the group Partouche.
Yeah, exactly. So, which by the way is a publicly traded company in France, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
And so what I found interesting is that he was telling me he intends on trying to use blockchain technology inside of the casinos. And I thought that was interesting, from like authentication of like identification at the door,
so many ways,
getting in any way. So I thought that was interesting.
There's so much utility, and that's why like even Maurice is exploring ways of like removing the identity controls at the entrance, because we have like a full-time employee to control IDs, but that doesn't make any money, right? Like, because you're not spending money when you're getting your ID controlled. So it's a full-time employee that's literally not profitable. So you could probably automate that with blockchain, but I mean the laws are taking that time, and we're like we were going to take we were planning on taking crypto payments very early, but we're not satisfied with the solutions that we've spoken with. So we're thinking of also like imagining creating our own wallet system, so that like we want to explore. We really want to go in every direction, and I think that's why it was smart to start with the community, because that way we can build it with the community. And I think that like this space is evolving so fast that like it would be very like it would be very like stupid. It would be very stupid to assume that with a small team of like 5 to 10 people we can keep up with everything that's going on and stay ahead of the curve. So I think that with the 888 jokers, like we can make sure that we have like people helping us, and we already have people before that joker has even been revealed, like they're already preparing the whole business plan for their derivative products and coming up to us and showing us what they're doing. And it's been really like interesting to see the feedback from the community.
I love that.
And that's why like I kind of want like we don't want to fixate the utility, because like we don't know like if it's going to be like only casino holders that want like better utility on the tables, or if we end up only having B2B people that want to help developing their businesses and scaling, or if we're only going to have like gamer people that want more video game experiences. So we really want to explore all the different alleys and stay like flexible to pivot. Like one other use case that I really want to explore once the community's there is creating kind of like a physical Pokemon Go style project, but when you get to the place you actually win utility, like when you finish the quest. So like it's basically like the Google. I see it like a mixture between Google Ads and like and like Pokemon Go, because you're basically generating physical leads to establishment, and in exchange they're giving like utility.
So
but it's like it's good for everyone.
No, absolutely. We do have Maurice on stage. What's up, Maurice?
Hey, sorry, my voice is broken.
No.
Too many party during the blockchain week. It's for this reason that Elite is good for represent Partouche Multiverse and Joker Club. But I just would like to say hello, Farok, and hello to your community.
No, super. Maurice, you should get some rest. You should get. Actually, j'ai acheté des pastilles en France. Fond. They're pretty good.
Exactly. Pastilles fond. C'est exactement ça.
Irritation de la gorge, enrouement. Et elles sont superbes. Je les ai pris à NFT Paris. I had those at NFT Paris. I keep at the fond, but for the throat, they're amazing. It's not a paid ad. I should get paid by fond. This segment is presented to you by Fond, pasties for the gorge. No, I'm kidding. But so Maurice, I heard you got a lot of utility from Mando OSF and I when we want to come gamble in your casinos in the summer.
I hope so. Come on.
Let's do it.
Viens nous voir.
Bah oui, c'est sûr. Alors là, c'est sûr. J'ai minté en plus, donc c'est sûr que je vais passer. So we're gonna definitely pass by the one of the Partouche casinos. Noah in the chat says, "Bro, this guy parties so hard. His voice was gone yesterday." That's how Paris Blockchain Week is for y'all. That events, you talk about your project to everyone. You go to the events, you talk, you party, everything, you drink. And you lose your voice. So it is what it is.
Yeah. But Maurice gave it a lot, man.
He gave it all.
We even sent him like the two boys on set when he was on the BFM business interview.
That's pretty.
And he didn't know that they were coming. So
you guys
should have seen his stare, bro.
I saw the video. It's good though that. I think so. You were on BFM. So for those who are not familiar, BFM is like this, like not CNN. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's like the CNN of France, something like that.
You could say that.
Something like that. So and you guys were on there. So it's interesting. So that they're covering like the NFT space, whatever you guys are doing.
They have a BFM business. It's like they have a channel dedicated fully to like business, and they also took like Asher, which is like the number one like crypto influencer in France. He also has a gig, I think, regularly on the.
Wow. Yeah, I have a friend one day that went on BFM Business to give me a shout out. That's my claim to fame.
That's good.
Yeah, that's my claim to fame. Except for the time I was on TF1 when we beat England. That was glorious. Mando and OSF already hated me, but then they had to see my face on TV. It was absolutely glorious. I'm sure you guys remember that.
That must have been sad, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was not sad for me.
But for them, for you, it must have been very satisfying.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can ask them. I mean, Ovi, Mando, are we over that period of time? Are we over the loss of England and France?
I think that definitely affected our friendship. I wouldn't say I'm.
Mando's not over it. Mando, if you look at his face, Mando, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. We can't hear you. Mando's not over
So
this.
ill. Yeah, look, that was not a good day. That was not a good day. Our friendship, for
we just blanked for like 3 days after that.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah, man.
What?
3 weeks. You need that time, bro, to recover for something.
The funniest
like that,
thing is we had to host a show, and
Together.
together. But at least we were not on video. Had we been on videos, it probably would have been completely different. A way of being. But anyways, so I think so. This is pretty cool. So Joker Club is minting out. Is minting. Joker Club Spirit. If you're following it, we were sharing. By the way, we shared the video on the YouTube for those of you who are watching us live, and we shared the link and everything. So it sounds like you guys are up to really cool things, and there's different families for every mint. I mean, I guess before we take off for the rest of the day. Wow, it is already noon and it's Friday, and the bells. I can hear the church bells ringing in Montreal. I love that. I hear them every morning. You guys don't get to hear them anymore because of the mics, but it's pretty nice. And so what's next for you guys? Obviously. You're focused on the mint right now. And
so
what comes next?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how if I'm allowed to disclose this, but I guess Maurice brought me here, so I guess I can do whatever I want now. But basically, what we're thinking of doing right now. So we've already organized like 2 events. We had one event in Forges-les-Eaux in one of our casinos for like the launch of the pre-sales. Which went really well, and we like people had to some people did like an 8-hour drive just to get there. It was pretty nuts.
Wow.
And that went really well. We finished at like 8 a.m. We ended up going to the like breakfast at the hotel, like with like 50 people, everyone still drinking alcohol at breakfast. Like it was pretty crazy. And then we had our event at the Carmen like 2 days ago, and it's been so we were kind of giving like a before taste of what we can do. And like we're definitely gonna be organizing events as much as we can. Right now, we're gonna be trying to look at like satellite communities in all the geographic areas in which we have establishments to see how we can organize events with them. And we're also thinking of creating the Joker Tour, which would basically be like a tour bus where we would basically go to all the biggest like casinos, like stay with all the employees of that casino for the whole day to like really teach them and like help them see the Joker spirit and understand what this the utility can bring, because that's also one of the big part of the work. Like there's 4,000 employees in the company, and like they're the ones that we really have to teach. Like it's not that the customer isn't ready to buy, it's that for the customer to be ready to buy, all the employees need to be ready to sell it as well. And that's something that we really want to. So the idea would be to go all around France and have have crazy events all around France where you can only access if you have the NFT. So either people like from the existing community will join us, or people that are in the casino want to go there. When they're in front of the casino, they'll be like, oh well, if you want to join the event, you'll have to mint. And like we're not in a hurry because we know that we're already like I'm already happy with the fact that we're just even talking here with you and having the ability to even get like advice and like even the perspective of you and your community. Like so for us, it's already a success. We're just and we're getting ready for the market coming tomorrow, and we're not in a rush. Like because where most projects in the past and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like before like the end goal was the mint, the sellout. Like for us, sellout is just the beginning, So it doesn't I feel like before you have to pump your marketing as much as possible, because once you sell out, you know that you're not going to deliver your roadmap. Like we haven't even made a roadmap because we know we're going to deliver. Like the NFT space has barely existed for 5 years. We've been here for 50 years, so we know we'll be here in 5 years. We don't have to prove that part of the puzzle. We're just here to create a new way of interacting with our community. And like it's also what I find really cool is that we have all these customers coming in all our establishments for years, but we never actually took the time to like see how professionally we could work with them, or how they could help us, or how we could help them. Like we only saw them as a customer, but we didn't think like instead of finding
how do we
that
build
supplier,
an actual community around them?
Sorry.
Now you get to build an actual community around your customers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, for all I know, the guy that comes on Friday and that loses all his money at the roulette is like the perfect dude to come work with me or to provide me a solution that I need, a technical solution that I need. But there's no like social point of interaction that's been created in which I can find that out. Whereas through the NFT, we can create like that leveling ground where we can actually interact in that way. And it also gives the customer the freedom of being able to like think of ways of improving the company, but from the side of the company. Like it kind of puts them in your shoes, and it makes them look at your, because when they're coming as a customer and being like, oh, but maybe it would help them more to do that, rather than thinking of it from a customer point of view. And that's what I think is really cool. And like me personally, like I like, even though like we really had to make this like appealable for the casino community, I see it more as like a vehicle to like onboard a huge amount of people from Web3 so that they can bring their projects to life through our ecosystem.
I love that. I think this is quite the mic drop moment and the perfect way to segue into the rest of the day. So Maurice, Ulysse, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being partners today. Maurice, I hope you rest that voice.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Hey, attends, je vais venir en France, je vais venir au casino, on va faire un poker night avec les Rock Radio. Ah, c'est sûr. We're going to do a Rock Radio poker night or Rec Guys, something like this over there at one of the casinos. We have to.
Anytime, guys.
We have to. It could be fun. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. And it's been obviously, I hope you guys get some rest on Paris Blockchain Week. I'm looking forward. I'm genuinely, like, outside of the partnership, looking forward of what you guys are going to be doing. Obviously, I'm a big fan of everything happening in France. Within the space, and I'm obviously super bullish on it, which is why we launched Rock Radio France. So super excited about it. Thank you so much, Maurice. Thank you, Ulysse. I appreciate you guys. And for everybody else, Ovi already had to dip. Mando,
thank you guys.
Thank you, Ulysse. That closes a pretty solid week of Jam Web3 on Rock Radio. I'm pretty sure we have another banging week coming for you next week. Let me check the guests already. Ooh. Oh yeah, definitely another banger of a week coming for y'all on the show. As usual, Stubbs are pretty fast today, Mando. I think we beat a new record. Do we know? Did the fair people tell us how many people? I don't think so. What do you mean? That, like, how many people? How fast?
It was 2 blocks. It was in 24 seconds.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
4 seconds. That's absolutely crazy. All right. Well, you guys will see. I mean, we're already cooking. We're definitely already cooking with regards to Stubbs and what we want to do with it. I mean, we already knew because we already have a plan. But we definitely want to make it even more fun for people and attract even more people. So that's gonna be fire. In the words of the great Mando. But anyways, with that, we'll see y'all Monday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode of Gem Web 3 on Rock Radio. Let's go.
And it's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM.
I love, man. It's just like
on this beautiful day. Good morning to Web3 with Barocco, Sep, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30. And it's all on Rock Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM. Rock Radio.